Hello. This is one of the spots I've recorded several of these videos from. I'm in Central Park and I work a couple blocks down that way. Actually, I'm at work now. I'm on standby today in my model job. They book other models in case somebody doesn't show up. Well, they showed up, so I don't really have to work, so I came here to record this. So that's what's going on. So today I have another book by John Boyne. If you've been following along here, a couple videos ago, I reviewed another novel by John Boyne, who is a Irish novelist. And that one was, what was that called? Ladder to the Sky. This one is a satire called The Echo Chamber. You can see it has a mobile phone and a tortoise. We all make mistakes, don't we? So yeah, this is a satire. So it's kind of a comic, and you know, I think it was pretty successfully done as a satire. I mean, I don't laugh out loud at books usually, and I didn't with this one, but I liked the book. So we have a family in this book, the head of the household basically is a British family, and we have George Cleverly and Beverly Cleverly, the two Cleverlys. And George Cleverly is a 60-year-old, whatever. Yeah, I think he's 60 years old. And he's a BBC presenter. He's had a talk show on BBC for, decades, for like 30 years. He's like a big sensation, an institution in the Beeb. So his wife, Beverly Cleverly, is a sort of a novelist, and this kind of connects with the previous book, The Ladder to the Sky, in that one had a guy who wanted to be a novelist but couldn't come up with any ideas and just stole other people's ideas to write his novels and became very successful. With this one, Beverly Cleverly had written a couple of novels back in the past, but then sort of got lazy about it. A lot of the family here, the rich British family here, is they're kind of screwed up, really, kind of lazy, kind of falling back on dad's income and wealth and so forth. So Beverly wrote a couple of novels, and she's a successful kind of romantic novelist, and she doesn't, in the opposite of The Ladder to the Sky, she hires ghosts. So she says, her novels are mostly, entirely written by the ghosts. So she just gives them ideas as to the plot and so forth, and then the ghost has to do all the work. So that's, and the ghost is involved with the story. So they also have three children. There's Elizabeth, and the satire of the book has to do with mobile phones, Twitter, and cancel culture basically. So and it's written in 2021, so it's all kind of current in a sense, which I'll get to in a moment, how this has evolved to the present situation. But so these people have three children. They have the daughter, Elizabeth, who has two Twitter handles, her own name, Elizabeth. She's very into Twitter. So she has her own name, and she also has this other Twitter handle, at Truth is a Sword. So that one she uses to harass celebrities, harass her family even, do all kinds of things, become basically a troll, a pest on Twitter. So she enjoys that. And she has two brothers. Achilles is the youngest, and he's very, very handsome, but also everyone says he's kind of stupid. So we don't expect much from Achilles other than to be handsome. Then there's the son, I think he's the oldest, is Nelson. Nelson is named after Nelson Mandela because the family, the father and the mother are they're good liberals. So Nelson Mandela is the name of one of the sons. Now he's kind of screwed up as well. He has issues where he feels like not good enough or something. So he wears costumes a lot, like uniforms. He feels better when he's wearing a uniform. So he'll wear scrubs, and later in the plot he wears a police uniform into a speed dating session, which gets him into certain sort of trouble as he's confused for a policeman, and that ends up being a madcap adventure in itself. So these are the main players, and what goes on, and the satire is, of course, of social media and of these what has gone on in the past, in the first part of here, the 21st century, with books, with Twitter and social media and cancel culture. So one day, I think he goes to his attorney's office. He goes to his attorney's office one day, George does, and he sees a receptionist that he doesn't know, and a new woman, Nadia, and he's worried. Well, where's Adrian, or whatever his name was before? Where is the guy from before? And Nadia says, well, he never existed. He did not exist. And so George is like, well, yeah, I know he existed because I was, I remember him. We were friends. We talked, So the receptionist, the cute young receptionist, keeps insisting that actually Adian that never existed, and that was it. So he goes in to see his attorney and finds out that actually Nadia is in fact what Adian has evolved into, in that they are transitioning from boy to woman. And so George is like, oh, okay, well, but being the good liberal, he decides to be supportive. So he on his Twitter, he posts a tweet that that goes that he congratulates Nadia Adian on his transition, using the mispronoun of he to describe Nadia. And of course this causes a big blowout, in that he has misgendered the receptionist. So that is a big thing on Twitter. Elizabeth enters in onto that, and it's a big disturbance. Then he makes it worse by by something else he says, like he goes on a TV show and does something that he just makes it worse. So it's sort of a continuation of mishaps that lead down this path of basically destruction. So there's all these connections going on. There both Beverly and George are having affairs. Beverly was on Strictly Dancing as a celebrity dancer since she's a novelist on Strictly Dancing on television, and she has her partner was this handsome Ukrainian youth guy, so she has gotten involved with him, and he has gone back to Ukraine because his father died, and she has left his 115-year-old tortoise. That's why there's a tortoise on the cover. So there's all stuff about the tortoise, and so all the results of all this, and the point of the book is that the impacts of cancel culture and how stupid it all is, and it's very 2021 in the approach of the book, with this liberal left-wing liberal cancel culture that is going on at the time, largely around pronouns and gender issues and things like that. So it's a satire about that. Now, looking at the novel and watching what is going on right now, a lot of that stuff with the cancel culture and so forth was one of the reasons that the right wing in all these countries have been coming back at full steam ahead. Like Trump being elected was a response to the liberal screw-ups with cancel culture and so forth, and Trump came in saying he was going to be the free speech president. Well, 2 days ago, Jimmy Kimmel got pulled off the air for saying a joke, basically having to do with Charlie Kirk and Donald Trump, which upset Donald Trump. And since Jimmy Kimmel works for a powerful corporation that needs to get a deal going, has a deal going on where they're going to buy out something else, and they would therefore be in control of more media than ABC is really permitted to be in control of, and the FCC can allow this to happen and rewrite the law that allows them to control more. So that is the core of the Jimmy Kimmel firing. And since he's works for a corporate outfit, I mean, people think the media is liberal. The media, the corporate media, is not liberal or conservative. They sell us what they can sell, and I knew they would start going right-wing right away when the tides turned, and that's what's going on. So a satire of the cancel culture of only 4 years ago is highlighting and made me think about what's going on now, and how the right wing using this cancel culture stuff to get in office, to get power, is now really bringing in an era of censorship and lack of free speech that we've never seen before. A new Red Scare, basically. They're going after all the left-wing terrorist groups in the United States. and which means they're going to be going down pretty low into the liberal ranks to find these terrorists, since there aren't really any left-wing terrorists or left-wingers in the United States, other than me and a handful of others who are largely not doing anything and basically invisible, have no power, and are now subject to loss of jobs, censorship, so forth. So in the book, to give a spoiler, yeah, George eventually does lose his job about, not only the mispronouncing the receptionist, but also he says something about cripples, and which is also not used, and he always says colored when it's people of color, and he's, well, what is different from colored or people of color? So there's all these questions about these little semantics of things, and yeah, so people losing their jobs due to censorship and this cancel culture. So now we're into the right-wing cancel culture of now, with this stuff going on with the media, and the unfortunate assassination of this youth organizer, Charlie Kirk. It made me think, like, what would happen if Abby Hoffman had, in my day, had gotten assassinated, who was a youth organizer, not quite as corporate, not quite as organized as Charlie Kirk was, but nonetheless, more or less working the same turf and not assassinated. So assassinations are really bad, just to make sure you know that. That's my stance, because whatever you think of the object, the target of the assassination, the blowback and the response of power and police and authority is not worth doing that sort of thing. So if anyone wants to do that sort of thing, please do not. You're just going to screw up all the rest of us for the foreseeable future, and it does not help. If we could get to a place where we're rounding up the rich people and so forth, well, that's a little different deal than these sort of random acts. But we're not to that point, and probably never will be to that point. Not in my lifetime, anyway. So yeah, a satirical novel, the echo chamber, that is relevant to now, relevant to 4 years ago, and you can transpose what is in this book to the horror of now, as we're besieged by this sort of far left or liberal left cancel culture of 4 years ago, to this now hard right cancel culture and red baiting that is going on in the right wing, that we're stuck with for now, and who knows, for the foreseeable future. As they're going to bring in thousands of cops. I was reading an article today about from the Huffington Post about a voice actor who saw a script for a commercial that for ICE, and it was a recruiting commercial for a policeman, basically aimed at current policemen, law enforcement people, and asking them to join ICE for basically for more money, for the ability to wear a mask, for the ability to not have supervision, no checks and balances as to what they're doing, to basically get this job as a armed government thug who can, do what they want in the street as far as harassing, picking up people. So there's that coming down the line very, very soon. So stay tuned, folks. I appreciate you watching, and we'll continue with more videos and more books. I've realized that I read all these books. I think I'm looking for my own book. I think I'm looking for, and I can't find in any of these books what I really want. So, I have to write from my own, and I have started doing that finally, because I'm kind of bored with consumption. I've always wanted to be a part of things, like music. Well, I want to do it too. Movies. Well, I want to act in them and make them myself. Books. Well, I want to write too. I want to participate. I can't just be a consumer. I realized all my life I've been trained as a consumer, and by serious, powerful corporate culture, from television on through, to be a good consumer. And is this it doesn't work for me. I get bored. I get I just read books, and sometimes I watch things, and I found I've learned a few years ago that that marijuana is a vehicle for me to cut down my boredom and continue consuming. Like, if I'm going to watch things, I'm more likely wanting to get stoned before I watch them, so I can more easily consume them. Well, I've kind of changed all that now, and so realizing that I have to be something more than just a consumer if I'm going to survive a few more years here, or else I'll just be bored and be done with it. So that's what I got to say today, and we'll talk to you next time.